Welcome viewers, Dr. J.W. Ayub, Australia. How did politics make life this hard? The household that became the shock absorber. Well, I'd have to say there's been a lot of shock absorbers that have broken. The government changes population settings. Another level of government controls planning. Councils manage development approvals. Infrastructure struggles to catch up. Construction becomes more expensive. That's why a lot of the houses aren't getting built that they reckon should be getting built. House demand keeps moving. Rent rises out of control. And eventually somebody tells the Australian family that's the market. Now, the people that are saying this are the ones that aren't suffering financially. They're not suffering at all. Because the financially suffocating civilian doesn't experience population planning, housing, taxation and infrastructure as a separate political portfolio. They experience them as one weekly payment. Now, the material that I've sourced identifies precisely this collision. Housing shortages, unnecessary mass migration, population growth, planning red tape, restrictions, development postponements and delays, construction costs, and infrastructure capacity operating simultaneously. This is the first pillar of the political, architectural, financial compression that they've put on Australian civilians. A worker can reduce entertainment, delay a holiday, keep an older car, stop eating out, but housing is different. And this is where Australia is exposing the political architecture. You must live somewhere. That makes housing costs capable of absorbing every financial improvement occurring elsewhere. Earn another $100, rent could take it in a month if it goes up. Receive a taxation reduction, mortgage costs can consume it. Property prices can move faster than your savings, then the government intervenes. Grants, guarantees, concessions, planning reforms, rent assistance, infrastructure programs. Some interventions may genuinely help temporarily, but the architectural question remains. Did they reduce the underlying cost or help Australians survive a cost that political architectural engineering had already helped create? This is where the accountability and responsibility for the people that are running the politicians, the ones pulling the strings, becomes uncomfortable, because they're well aware that the Western world civilians are starting to wake up. And we need to identify who increased the demands, who controlled supply, who restricted development, who collected the taxes and where did it really go, who received the economic benefits, because they're the ones that are driving this, and who was warned about shortages, who warned them, and who ultimately carried the financial consequence. Well, we carried the consequence, but who profited out of this? Because when governments control different parts of the machinery, responsibility can disappear between them. Commonwealth blames states, states blame councils, councils blame infrastructure, industry blames regulation, and while everybody explains their individual decision, the civilian pays the combined bill. It's not affecting the politicians, let me make that clear. And one of the reasons why you'll see politicians letting us know that they're all morally bankrupt and why they want to run the country, get their political party running the country, because that keeps them one step away from what you're experiencing. They don't want to lose their jobs and end up like you are. So that is the infrastructure that I, through these episodes, expose. Not simply that housing became expensive, but whether governments repeatedly constructed conditions in which the Australian household became the nation's financial shock absorber. Everything's been put on us. And if that loses, if those losses were foreseeable and avoidable, and we know they were, and the politicians knew they were, why should civilian financially carry all this alone? Shouldn't we be compensated for what the politicians have done to us? Because we've been financially stripped, raped, and left destitute. So viewers, the question becomes, this is what the question should be: what are Australians owed? What are Australians owed in compensation relative to this ongoing political, architecturally designed, they're designing it all, financial abuse? We should be compensated. I'm telling you right now, they're just robbing us. They're financially abusing us and raping us, and we should be compensated. There you go.